Hello everybody and welcome back to Madden 2005. In the Oakland Raiders franchise mode, we are getting up on in year number 4 here. We have gotten through a good chunk of it, and it is now time to face the Chargers, because every year we have to at least showcase one of these Chargers games. We already lost to them earlier in the year, which is the one loss that we do have on the year, actually, is to the San Diego Superchargers. So as far as the entire series goes, we have a 5-3 all-time record against the Chargers. So I know I cut out the cinematic opening part. I don't know why I did that, but I did. but we have a 5-3 record overall against the Chargers all time. And hopefully we're going to make it 6 here as we can grab another win against the Chargers. Last year was the only year we've ever swept the Chargers in the regular season, and then we had to beat them again in the postseason. So it was a three-peat in one season against the Chargers last year. So hopefully we can manage at least grab a win against the Chargers, who are the only team really threatening in the West so far this season. They had a rough start to the year. They kind of salvaged something, got to like 6-3, but now they've lost, and they're only a couple games above 500, so they're kind of struggling. And already we've scored on them, and we are on the attack once again as Teo Johnson gets a reception across the middle of the field and continues his good season that he is having at tight end for us. So last play of the first quarter most likely here, and Tim Couch fires one off, and he's got to at least have the one, right? He's got to at least have the one. He's almost had like one a game, I think. It's that kind of pace here, but that is interception number 8 for Tim Couch, and the first quarter is going to come to a close. Though it's hanging on to a 7-0 lead over the Chargers, so still relatively early here, but it's 3rd and 13 for Phillip Rivers and those Chargers, and Rivers takes the snap here and fires one off towards the sideline, and now it's off to the races here. It's just a foot race. I believe it's Eric Parker who's leading the charge, and he had a few Raiders behind him, but we know that Eric Parker's got plenty of speed that we can't really contest with, so Eric Parker manages to get into the end zone here, and a nice effort from, I believe, Woolfolk, one of the new additions that we brought in at the deadline. I think he tried to make a play on the ball here and didn't have the speed. I mean, you want to tell me that Ed Reed doesn't have the speed to catch up to Eric Parker? I kind of don't believe you, but it's all right. We can look at it later. So we're all tied up at 7 apiece here in the second quarter here, but around midfield the Raiders' offense is, and Couch wants to get the rest of it through the air, and he does as he finds Joey Porter. I've now started screwing up on Jerry and Joey. I don't know why. But Jerry Porter makes the reception here inside the 5, and now we just have to punch it in, but it's already 3rd and goal, and someone is going to twitch on the line, and that's going to be a false start on the Raiders, so move it back another handful of yards to make this attempt even more difficult on 3rd and goal. And now Couch is going to try and throw for it comfortably, and he does manage to do so. And in the back of the end zone, it is Justin Gage with touchdown number 11 on the season, if you can believe that. He's already got 11 touchdowns towards kind of the, the beginning of the home stretch of the regular season. He's already up to 11 now. 13 last year was his career high. So it's very possible we will see him beat that number by the time the season is over. So but 14-7 now the score here. Still plenty of time left in the first half, and the Raiders are back on offense here in their own end. And Couch dumps one off to Chris Cole, and now Chris Cole is lighting on the Jets here, but he does not have anywhere near the jet fuel required to get away from this Chargers secondary as they catch up to him. But it's a nice reception to Chris Cole, who's only had a couple hundred yards so far this year. We've already talked about his role on the team since we've brought in Joey Galloway. Probably didn't need to with someone like Chris Cole, but we'll deal with that in the offseason. So 1st and 10 now for the Raiders once again. Tim Couch rolling out of the pocket here and finds Justin Gage, an absolute dime of a football by the corner of the end zone by the pylon. And somehow Justin Gage manages to get that ball. I mean, Tim Couch really fit that one through a window. I'm definitely going to struggle a little bit. He definitely got that one through a window. So touchdown number 12 for Justin Gage, and that is touchdown number 32 for Tim Couch, I believe, or 33 maybe. So he is absolutely cooking this year again. And Jerry Porter is also cooking in this game with another reception as we hold on to a 14-point lead here with a chance to add even more points before the half is over. Couch is hit as he throws, but he gets rid of it in time, and that pass is going to be completed. We'll get another look at it as Teo Johnson Oh, God, Tim Couch is absolutely lifted, man. That was a brutal hit, but thank goodness he is okay. So 2nd and 8 now we're going to fast forward to. We can get the first down and not the touchdown, but we'd like to get 6 if we can. And Justin Gage understands that assignment, and he gets into the end zone for his 3rd touchdown of the game, man. And this might just get him over his career high in this game alone, as I think that's, touchdown number 12 now? Does he match 13 now? So 28-7 is the score here late in the first half, and Phillip Rivers and the boys got to figure something out here as a completion is made across the middle of the field. It's Antonio Gates who makes the catch, and that's going to get him right at about the 50-yard line. And time is of the essence, so the Chargers are going to move with a little bit of purpose on a 3rd and 6. Pressure is sent to Phillip Rivers, but he gets rid of it in time, I believe, to Eric Parker once again, or it might have been Kevin Dyson. Yeah, it was Kevin Dyson. And now the Chargers are going to move once again now with a fresh set of downs. Rivers barely letting the boys get set up here, and he's going to float one out towards the sideline. And that time I believe it's Eric Parker who makes the catch here, and he's going to be given the first down. He's going to get tackled kind of into the sticks, into the chain gang, but they're going to give him the first down. And now San Diego's going to call timeout as the time gets down to a minute and no change, just a minute, 60 seconds. So the Chargers got 60 seconds to add some points, and now LT is going to get involved in this game, who is also on career pace again this season. He had a career year last year, and he looks to be on the similar kind of pace in this season as well, but quickly becomes 3rd and 16 for the Chargers offense, and Rivers floats one out to the end zone, and it's Eric Parker who's able to get his hands on it, or it might have been Kevin Dyson again. The 0 looks like another 8. I can't tell. The 0 looks like another 8. I think that's Kevin Dyson's side, so it could have been him, but either way, it's caught in the end zone for another Charger touchdown, so 28-14 is the score, but Tim Couch will not be bested as he sends a deep shot to Jerry Porter on the sidelines, who gets rid of Quentin Jammer, and he gets into the end zone for a 76-yard passing touchdown. And the Raiders are looking to have potentially the last laugh here in the first half of this game. We still have 2 more quarters left to play, man. The second quarter feels like a freaking marathon. It feels like an absolute marathon. But the Raiders are definitely winning that marathon up 35-14. But hold on, there's 20 seconds left, and the Chargers are back on offense. Are they going to answer us back here? Are they going to have the last laugh? It looks like they might, as Antonio Gates gets a catch here, and he's off to the races, but he's going to get tripped up here with just 13 seconds left to go. The Chargers are going to try and run up back to the line. If they have a timeout, they probably should use it right here, unless Phillip Rivers wants to get the spike down and he wants to throw for it in 2 seconds now, but there's a flag on the field, and it looks like we were offside. So we're going to give the Chargers a few more yards here to maybe make a field goal attempt a little bit easier. So 53-yarder with just 2 seconds left on the clock. Now let's see if he's got the leg for it. The kick is up, and it is good. So we're in Madden 05 now, in a Madden where most kickers can make about 50 to 55 yards. Remember, in Madden 02, that is definitely not the case, but in this game it is. So 17-35 is the score. The Chargers are going to start off the action in the third quarter for us here, as Rivers is able to hit Richie Caldwell across the middle for a nice completion to get the Chargers inside the red zone. And now moving with a little bit of purpose here, 2nd and 1. We're going to fast forward to a short yard situation. Rivers tries to evade some pressure, and he finds an open receiver in the back of the end zone. And that is going to be another Chargers touchdown. And they are just inching closer and closer in this game. Now, our lead is definitely not sacred here. It's down to 11. But we could pad ourselves a little bit here if we can get another touchdown or 2. And now Tim Couch gets this one off to Jerry Porter across the middle for another completion. And, our whole receiving corps seems to be doing pretty well against the Chargers. I'm not super worried about it. So 1st and 10 now, just outside the red zone. Couch going to throw for it once again here, evading some pressure, steps up and throws, and he finds, I believe it's Justin Fargas. Is it Justin Fargas out of the backfield? It is. It's Mr. Number 20. Justin Fargas out of the backfield gets himself a receiving touchdown. I think he has 1 on the year. Or that might have been his first one. I'm thinking from later on in the recordings. I'm not sure. But he's not a huge receiving threat here, but he definitely has done his job. He's done his job doing so. So it's not all about just the rushing touchdowns, but the all touchdowns, every touchdown, right? So the Chargers are going to get stopped up here at the end of the third quarter as the score is now 42-24. And we're going to fast forward to a 4th and 9 that the Chargers have to now take because it's the fourth quarter. They got to go for it. Rivers takes a deep shot downfield, and that pass is caught, but it's well out of bounds. Eric Parker is firmly on the white chalk when he comes down with the football. So that's going to be a turnover on downs, and the Chargers, a great pass by Rivers, but just a little bit out of bounds. So we're going to take over here, and we have a chance to really separate ourselves from the Chargers. Tim Couch takes another humongous shot as he gets rid of the football, but Joey Galloway makes the catch here and gets a nice chunk on the ground. But fast forward to a 3rd and 11, the Chargers desperately need to get the football back. We hand it off to Morian Norris, who gets a nice little gain on the ground here, but he's still going to be tackled shy of the line to gain. And there you see our rushing production has been completely silenced by the Chargers. So bring out Janikowski here to try and finish off this drive and at least add a few more points, maybe make the score a little bit trickier for the Chargers to try and match. And that's going to make it 45-24 against San Diego. So the Chargers got quite a bit of work to do if they want to try and get out of the hole that they've now found themselves in, but nothing else would happen in the game. So that'd be it. There's no work that they could do, or at least they did for the rest of the quarter, and it led to absolutely nothing for them. So despite how well the Chargers defense showed up in certain aspects of the game, like silencing our run game, our defense was certainly able to limit the explosivity of the Chargers offense as well, because the Chargers were definitely very potent through parts of this game, but towards the very final minutes of this game, the Chargers offense really couldn't find any kind of momentum outside of what they had already kind of been cooking with. They really needed a lot more from LT as well, and they really didn't have it. So 0 for 2 on 4th down, that's the kind of stuff, and only scoring on 2 of your 4 red zone opportunities, that could have been the difference maker in the game right there. Only going 50% in the red zone. That's kind of brutal, if you're trying to win a game like this. So the Chargers desperate to play some catch up, not just in this game, but in the standings, and now they're going to fall to 6-5 on the year. In weeks 10 to 10-1, man. 10-1. So our last little stretch of games are all against pretty bad teams in the AFC, so we might be skipping through a lot of them and getting down to the last game or so of the regular season before we head right into the postseason, which we will almost guarantee to get in now, because the worst record we could have is 10-6, and I don't think anyone's going to take the AFC West from us. This game actually very well could have clinched the AFC West for us, potentially. I mean, I don't know exactly. I mean, the Chargers can still catch up, so I guess maybe not, but either way, we are going to simulate through the next few weeks here, and the Broncos managed to beat us, and they're carving out a decent little year here. But we do manage to pick up big wins against the Jags and the Bills, who are both pretty bad here. And we're going to stop at week 16 because we have a big game against the Colts on the road. But with the 3 weeks that we've had, we're going to look at the standings and see that we have already clinched a playoff spot. We have won the AFC West for the first time in this series, and we are definitely going back to the postseason. And the Colts, who we were playing in the next video, have also punched their ticket to the postseason and won the AFC South. So the two teams in the AFC that have already gotten playoff spots probably don't have a lot to play for outside of seeding, but the Colts have a lot of ground to try and cover to catch up to us in the 1 spot. So we will see who will be on top and victorious. So hope to see you guys in the next one in Indy.